So you might have already been sent your kit list, things you need to bring to phase 1 training for the British Army. These things that I'm going to tell you now aren't on the list, but they will make your life easier. So much easier. Like, I'm not going to lie, you need to go straight away to Amazon and buy some of this stuff. Do it. Seriously. So for those who don't know me, my name is King Sloth. I was in the British Army for just under 7 years before transferring across to the Royal Air Force, where I still currently serve. I do military reactions and also do video logs such as these ones, where I answer people's questions and give a little insight into what it's like being in the military. But as I said at the start of the video, I'm going to be giving you all little things that you need to bring. To phase 1 training to make your life easier or make your time there better. So the first thing, even though it says on the list, don't bring one, I recommend you do, because it will make your life easier in the long run. And that would be, bring a decent iron. Like, they'll say don't bring it, we have irons. The irons that they have normally in the accommodation are not very good, like, at all. They're really bad, I'm not gonna lie, to the point where it takes you ages and ages and ages to iron kit. So I recommend you getting the most powerful and heavy iron you can get. So pretty much it works out, the heavier the iron you get, the better it is. So for me, I literally got one which was probably one of the best irons I've ever actually had, I'm not gonna lie. But when it came to the ironing, I would finish with all my kit and literally be in bed ready for the next day, while people saw on their like 3rd piece of kit, because they had their little cheap irons that they provided, which were diabolical. So I'd recommend getting yourself a good iron, I'm not gonna lie, because it will save you a lot of time in the long run. Second thing that you need to bring, which isn't on the list, but you do get provided one set, and that's a thing called twisties. So twisties are the little green pieces of elastic with hooks either side that will get attached to the bottom of your trousers. So you will get, I think, 2 or 3 given to you. A lot of them will go missing. Either they'll be stolen, or you'll be on a tab and they'll fling off and you just lose them. I'd recommend going on Amazon and buying yourself a bag, like a bag full of these twisties, because when you run out and everyone else got twisted on, you stand out like a sore thumb, and you will get pulled up very quickly asking where your twisties are. I understand people are like going, well, you know, it's not part of the kit, They will expect you to have them. So I recommend getting yourself a big bag of them, put them in your civilian locker that you will have, and keep them safe. Next thing you need to bring, and I think this is going to be common sense for some people, other people won't even think of this. In your locker, like your military locker, which they inspect, you will also have your toothpaste, your shaving cream, your deodorant, your toothbrush, things like that. What I would recommend you doing is having a completely fresh set of all of that you don't touch. So that set will stay in your locker the entire time. You won't use it, it will just be there. So when it comes to inspection, they're like, okay. Because sometimes, I remember I got pulled up saying like, where's your toothpaste gone? And they're like, oh, well, I'm almost out. So, like, I think it's a new one today, like, where's your fucking admin? You should have had it done. And obviously then someone in my section came up to me and was like, well, why don't you have a spare set in your civvy locker that you can use? I was like, oh, okay, that's an absolute winner. I'll do that then. So that's a recommendation. Get yourself a whole nother set of cleaning products which you won't use. They're just there for show in your locker pretty much. Next thing you need to bring, and this is a pure morale thing. And you will be happy to have it in your section. People around you, most of the time, will be happy to see it as well. And that is a Bluetooth speaker. Believe it or not, when you're in your phase 1 training, the only time you had a TV really was if someone had brought a little one that could plug in their room, or they'd go to the welfare suite where you can watch TV or watch the football or catch on Netflix and so on and so forth. Other than that, you're watching stuff on your phone. So when it came to getting a speaker, you can have music playing, radio playing. You can have, if someone brings the screen, you can have that connected to that, and everyone can listen to this stuff. Like the way we used to do things is we literally used to have, each day we would change it so someone else would have the music each day. By that as like you also got a chance to learn more about people, which was like, it's a massive thing to do. So for me, like my music taste is very erratic, to say the least. I can go from stages of liking Frank Sinatra to liking opera to liking death metal to liking grime, rap, drum and bass. It all changes. So for me it was completely fine, but some people you'd see and be like, that person, like the way he speaks, he must like rap, or the way he dresses, he must like rock. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got all these different people giving it a blast on it, and it is so good. And the section builds together more and it bonds people together. When you're doing ironing, you whack on the music. Eventually towards the end you'll work out who's got the good music taste and who hasn't, and eventually you'll be like, okay, you're not having the stereo today, you're not having the speaker today, he's having it, because we need some fucking morale in the room. Like, I remember just before we did like PT sessions, we'd have music like blasting, like music blasting in the room, getting hyped up, because we wanted to be like the good section, the fizz section is what we wanted to be. So having that music was such a good thing to have, and I'm not gonna lie, that's a priority. That's a priority to have, is getting them speakers done, because I feel like as soon as you get that morale, you are sound, because it makes your life so much easier. So the final thing I'd recommend bringing, and this might seem very like petty, not petty, but almost like, do we really need it? But I'll say this to you now, it will help you massively. Bring yourself a way of writing like letters home, and a way of like getting them back. So bring yourself some stamps, your letters, your envelopes, pens, pencils, whatever you want to fucking bring that. So I'll tell you now, there'll be days where you want to ring someone and they can't answer, and then you get that little letter there sat there and you're like, okay, I'll read this letter. Like, I went through stages that I read the same letter that I got sent about fucking 50 times, like a week. Not even a joke. Like, my missus saying, oh, really miss you, I'm really proud of you. Sometimes you need that pick me up, and when like sometimes you can't get out over the phone, you need that conversation like in front of you to read, and it is a massive, once again, that is a massive morale booster. And yeah, it's all well and good like speaking on the phone, but there's certain things that you can't say on the phone without people overhearing, because the world like do you know what I mean? Some things are kept private, but when you're in like a 12-man room, it's very difficult to do that. So having the way to write letters is it's a beautiful thing. And literally, I still have letters that my wife now wrote to me when I went through training. Literally, still sat there in my bedside drawer. Whenever I'm feeling down, sometimes I'll read it again, and I'll literally sit there and I'll read through all these old letters or like old Valentine's cards and stuff like that, because that's what gave me morale. It boosted me up while I was there. So I'd recommend doing that. But if you have any other suggestions for things that you should bring to phase one training, leave them in the comments, because I guarantee people are going to watch this and wonder about the answers, like what should I bring, what should I bring. Other people might have better things that they recommend bringing. Put them in the comments, because it help out the person who's joined the same as you. But it has been King Sloth. Make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next video. Peace.